Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada. I am Bob Alto, your worship associate, and I go by the pronouns he, him, his. Here at the fellowship, spirit moves, soul creates song, hope fills life, and you are not alone. You are treasured here, regardless of gender identity, age, socioeconomic position, immigration status, sexual orientation, or ethnicity. This is indeed an escape to a sacred place where you can be free. You will have access to the speaker view and gallery, and you will remain muted throughout the service. Please use the chat box to comment, especially joys and sorrows. We, of course, have a special welcome to those of you who are visiting us. At the end of our service, we'll invite you to small groups for coffee hour.
Come into this place. Come in bringing all of who you are. Rest and quiet your weak, worn spirit, for you are here to touch again the eternal springs of hope and renewal. For this hour, let the cares, the fretfulness, and worry be set aside. Know that you are indeed not alone. There is strength and caring support for you here. Just look around. You're a part of community. You can make it what you will, even on this November snowy day here in Nevada or wherever you are joining us from. Let us enter into this space together. I invite you to take your chalice that you may have brought with you, and we will light them together. In this hour, may we be open to a rededication of friendships, a renewal of spirit. May we relinquish the worries and anxieties of the past week, if just for this hour, and regain our strength through this community of faith. This morning, as we light our chalice, all of our chalices, may we dedicate the light of these chalices to all those who poured themselves out on behalf of the election. The poll workers, the counters, the checkers, the observers and watchers, those who delivered supplies, the ballot curers, those who called and poured themselves into this effort the last weeks and months. we dedicate the lights today of all of our chalices.
Dum, 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 dum. There's a river somewhere that flows through the lives of everyone, and it flows through the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. There's a star in the sky that brightens the lives of everyone, and it brightens the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. 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 Yes, it do. There's a star in your eye that brightens the lives of everyone, and it brightens the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, it is a sweet song of love that sweetens the lives of everyone. It sweetens the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, yes, it do. And there's a voice from the past that speaks through the lives of everyone, the lives of everyone. And it speaks through the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. There's a smile in your eyes that shines through the lives of everyone, and it shines through the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, it do. Yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, 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 oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, there's a river somewhere. Yes, there's a flows through the light. Yes, there's a everyone that flows through the light, and it flows through the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, it flows a river.
Beloveds, this is certainly a day when I would love for us to be together in the great room in a spirit of celebration. And yet I'm so, so grateful that we can be together in community like this. Just going to take a moment today and take a breath. There continue to be many concerns, and yet today is a moment to take a breath, Today is a moment to stop. And we will take just a moment to acknowledge and celebrate that love over hate has won the day. I want to especially celebrate this morning what happened in our great state of Nevada in this election. Marriage equality is now enshrined in the Constitution in Nevada by a margin of 2/3 to 1/3. Yes, I see you. I see you giving jazz hands for applause. This cannot be taken away by the Supreme Court or anyone now. And I can't tell you what this means to me and to my family and to so many of us. Even though many are concerned about what might happen with the US Supreme Court on LGBTQ rights, and so many states were caught off guard by this and didn't have the opportunity to make a preemptive strike, Nevada was ahead of the curve on this one. And so many folks have worked on this over decades, and we are the first state to enshrine marriage equality in our Constitution. Nevada also enshrined in its Constitution voters' rights, a Bill of Rights for voters, which includes early voting, which has been a real key in this election. So these rights now do not have to be fought in the courts every election. Nevada was also ahead of the curve and out front and amazing in mailing ballots to everyone in this election. Nevada also chose to take some steps toward renewable energy, and I know that many feel that it's not enough and it's not happening quickly enough, and yet I think we still can take it as a good sign that the people of Nevada want to do something in regards to renewable energy. Who would have ever thought that this traditional cowboy and mining state in the desert would be on the cutting edge out in front of our country on gay marriage rights and voting rights? As a relative newcomer, I couldn't be more proud of Nevada. Home means Nevada more and more all the time. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of all the people who have been working on this for so long. And so on this day when we're going to take a breath together, just take a breath. And I invite you to enjoy these moments of joy from our animal blessing yesterday.
This is the time in our service when we have the opportunity to share our bounty with each other. Since we're not physically together, to pass the basket, we can do so virtually by texting 73256, putting UUFNN in the message box and hit send, then follow the instructions to provide your offering. You can also mail a check to the office at 780 Del Monte Lane, Reno, 89511. The most convenient way to donate is to sign up for automatic giving. Please contact the office and Carol will send you an automatic draft authorization form. This month, we are sharing the plate with Nevada Youth Empowerment Program. And their focus is guiding women from poverty to opportunity. They work on providing high school graduation, employment, college education, independent housing, etc. NYEP receives no government funding, and our generosity is making a contribution critical to their focus. And so now we are proud of our community because we make connections that are important. We need our spiritual community in these days. And so with that consideration, let our offering begin. Thank you for your generosity. Will you please join with me in the dedication of the offering to the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, just faith, justice, and joy, we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings.
We're now delighted to have our very own Rob Kent singing Something More Than Free by Jason Isbell.
When I get home from work, I'll call up all my friends and we'll go bust up something beautiful we'll have to build again. When I get home from work, I'll wrestle off my clothes and leave them right inside the front door, 'cause nobody's home to know. See, a hammer needs a nail and the freight train needs a rail. Guess I'm doing what I'm on this earth to do. And I don't think I'm here where it hurts. I'm just lucky to have the work. Sunday morning I'm too tired to go to church, but I thank God for the work. When I get my reward, my work will all be done, and I will sit back in my chair beside the Father and the Son. No more holes to fill, and no more rocks to break, and no more loading boxes on the trucks for someone else's sake. See, a hammer finds a nail, and the poor man's up for sale. Guess I'm doing what I'm on this earth to do. And I don't think I am here where it hurts. I'm just lucky to have the work. Every night I dream I'm drowning in the dirt, but I thank God for the work. And the day will come, and I'll find a reason, somebody proud to love a man like me. My hand is numb, and my hands are freezing. What I'm working for is something more than free. And I don't think I'm here where it hurts. I'm just lucky to have the work. Sunday morning I'm too tired to go to church, but I thank God for the work. I thank God for the work.
As Rob Kent just sang for us, thank God for the work. I'm also glad you're not too tired to go to church. I'm thankful for the work too. I'm thankful for all the work. I'm so thankful for all the work that all of us did to help love triumph over hate, to help kindness triumph over meanness, to help public service triumph over narcissism. And I could go on, but I won't. I'm so thankful for all the work that's been done. And I'm so thankful for all of the work that is ahead. As has been said many times, the ills of our nation are not going to be solved with one election. We have much work to do. But that time is not yet. We will be the hands and the feet and the voices of love. But first, we must take a breath and rest and find our center. That is our work for right now. To take a breath and take a rest. There has been so much tumult, beloveds, between COVID and the election. It's been a trying time and may continue to be. And so the work for right now is to take this moment to take a breath and to rest, to connect spiritually, to connect with our deepest selves. Take some time to follow the example of our beloved pet family members, to live fully into the moment, each moment, being fully present to whatever each moment brings. Take a nap, go for a walk, play. This weather is encouraging us to hunker in with a good book, to nurture ourselves, to enjoy the extraordinary beauty of the snow today for those of us in Northern Nevada. We need to take a breath for now. You have permission. You have earned it. Because here's the thing. Soon we're going to need to do some soul searching and discernment about what our role is going to be in the healing, in the new beginning, in the rebuilding, both as a community and individually. We're going to need to take some time for that, but that time is not yet, because to do that, we need to be our most rested, grounded selves. I'm thinking of it as a momentary sabbatical. I want you to enjoy the exhale. I want you to enjoy the feeling of your shoulders dropping out of your ears. Tune into that. Tune into what it feels like for your shoulders to let go a little bit. Notice that you might be smiling to yourself a little bit more, whistling. There might be a little more of a skip in your step. Dance. It's been a while. Savor this moment. Who knows how many moments we might have quite like this one in our lifetimes, with everything that has converged this year in 2020. So I really encourage us to savor these moments of joy after all that has been. My thinking this way has been inspired by my own weary bones and weary heart, from conversations I've had with some of you recently. And it's also been inspired by this post from Bishop Stephen Charleston. And he says, I don't know about you, but I need to get off the merry-go-round for a little while. I am going to spend this day giving thanks for as many things as I can. For people who work hard each day trying to make ends meet, for families that care for one another even when they disagree, for little kids whose laughter tells me there's still wonder in the world. I will think of you, this community, he says, of all the good and hope we embody by just being open to one another. I will lay hands on the earth to exchange the healing we both need. I will try to walk in beauty, aware of how precious a single day of peace can be, grateful for the air that I breathe. He continues, there will be enough time for more drama in the days to come. Right now, I'm taking a spiritual health day. and I hope you will join me. I couldn't agree more with Stephen Charleston. It is a time to plug into our anchors. Give thanks for them. Tell them how much we appreciate them. Now, what are our anchors? Our anchors are those things like our family. May we look them in the eyes and relish joy and thanksgiving and tell them, our children, our spouses. Our anchors are our friends. May we appreciate our friends who know us through and through and love us anyway. Our anchors are our pets who love us unconditionally and remind us how to live in the present moment. We need to lean into our anchors and rest, beloveds. With love, with gratitude, to savor this moment, allow it to ground and nurture us. There is work to be done. But for now, let us rest and savor and find ourselves again. You have permission in these days to rest, to ground, to savor this moment. Let us take a cleansing breath. Let us take many deep cleansing breaths. It's been observed endlessly these last days and weeks that we are a nation deeply divided. Many things are taught to us from Buddhism, and one of the simplest and most profound is that all hope of healing begins with healing oneself. We cannot affect healing into the world until we do our own healing work. That is what this moment is about. Change in the world gets enacted when we are also willing to be changed. So may we take this moment to breathe, to connect with our deepest selves, to find ourselves again, to plug into those anchors, to just be. There is much work to be done ahead. But for now, a moment of Sabbath. Blessed be. We come together for this oasis within an oasis, to take a few moments to gather our joys, our celebrations, our sorrows, our concerns. And especially in these moments, may we plug into our breath, the great mystery of our breathing that enlivens every cell in our bodies. We give thanks today that there will be the first woman of color in the White House. We give thanks for the inspiration to girls and to children everywhere, all over the world. We give thanks that love is and will be prevailing. We are brokenhearted for continuing gun violence in our country. Philadelphia and Las Vegas in the last couple of weeks. We hold all the folks in our care who have been affected by loss, by COVID, by fires, and we send our love and our care to everyone who is feeling lonely and isolated, who could use a hand to hold. We give thanks for this community who can give voice to so much. And I give thanks for all of the ways that we remain connected. Our building may be closed, but we are community for each other, even and especially in this time. And I give thanks for the mystery of those connections and for that love that lives between us. You're invited in these moments to express your joys, your concerns, your celebrations, your fears, your worries, your Thanksgivings in the chat box over these next few moments. Beloveds, we gather all of the intentions of our hearts, those that are so deep, it is difficult to have words. And we gather all of them and we hold them together into the heart of love. And I invite you to our gesture that we offer together at the end of this time, which is one hand on the heart, hand and palm facing outward, giving love and energy to one another, which says, I see you, I hear you. We are all in this together. May we always be community, one for each other. Amen.
Dona nobis pacem pacem. Dona nobis pacem. Dona nobis pacem pacem. Dona nobis pacem.
We want to thank you so much for joining us today for today's service, for this time to take a breath. And I think it may have been obvious before, but in case it isn't, special thanks to our multi-talented Bill Quimby for putting together the video of our animal blessing yesterday. Thank you for that lovely blessing, Bill. Please do watch your emails for programming and opportunities for connection. If you or you know of someone who needs some extra support during this time, if anyone is feeling lonely or isolated, is having health issues, any concern at all, we would love to know that so that we can help provide support in some way. I want to say a moment about the holidays. I want us to be thinking about how we can provide extra connection to each other, especially to those who live alone, to those who won't be able to see family this year. We want to provide some extra connection, and I want us as a community to think about how we're going to do that. Different ones of us hosting coffees on Zoom. Maybe we can be creative, have some holiday meals. I'm not sure how that's going to look, but I think that we need to provide some extra opportunities of connection throughout the holidays to keep each other going. So let's be thinking about that, and we'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. From the Legacy Committee, Legacy would like you to know that it's time to plan on supporting UUFNN's future. The Legacy Fund Committee reminds us now that the time to decide to donate a year-end amount to increase the tax-deductible contribution is now, to donate the required minimum distribution from your IRA. It's now because it takes time after communicating your decision to your fund agent for your wishes to be followed. The Legacy Committee is the Legacy Fund is the source of the growth of UUFNN's endowment for the security of our future. So please consider a donation to that by the end of the year. Thank you. And I want to say a word to you, beloveds, about COVID. I know that we're all watching this, and COVID in our area is surging out of control right now. And I want to encourage all of us to continue our due diligence of sheltering in place, of staying at home, washing hands, using hand sanitizer, masking when we do have to go out, and in general, taking care of one another. Abiding by our distancing. You know what to do. And so we have to be ever more diligent, even as hard as it is as the months go by. Our board has just reaffirmed their decision not to have groups meeting in the building just yet. And this is a hard decision for our board to make, and yet we feel that this is the right thing for right now. When we are able to come back together, as the meme goes, we want to make sure that no one is missing. So we're going to do our part to make sure that we continue to be on the forefront of prevention rather than spread. So beloveds, let's do everything we can to take care of each other, to take care of ourselves, and to stay connected in this way as much and as often as we're able to be there for each other while we need to do what we need to do to stay well in these days. You're invited to stay on for some informal conversation for coffee hour after our closing song. Let's join together in We Shall Be Known.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these vibes. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we cry. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these paths. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Beloveds, we form a point of connection symbolically in our windows. May these moments, these days of taking a breath, bring you nurture and deep serenity and rest and connection and all that you need to find a deep sense of serenity and hope, so that indeed in this great turning, we can learn to lead with love. Blessed be, amen, and namaste.